Why you should give up alcohol, coming from a whiskey connoisseur. Stick around. Hello and welcome to the Warrior King podcast. My name is Michael Riggs. I'm a full-time author, artist, and entrepreneur here to assist you on your journey to unlocking masculinity, manliness, and the warrior spirit within, and overall leveling up your life. So it's 2024, guys. We made it. Super excited to be here with you today, launching a new year. And today's kind of a heavy topic, but it's absolutely necessary, I believe, for leveling up every aspect of your life. So we're going to get deep into why you should give up alcohol, or at least quest for moderation of alcohol in your life. So again, happy new year, and it's time to get our shit together once and for all. And this is a great starting point for doing that. Trust me. Today we're going to be talking about the effects of alcohol on your body and in your life. And after this episode, I hope that you're inspired to give up alcohol for at least a year. That's going to be my challenge. We're going to talk about that later, but alcohol has the potential to ruin your health, your body, your brain, your relationships, everything about your life. It's super, super dangerous, guys. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. So let's dive right into it. Now, it is very important to note that I'm not a doctor or physician or health professional of any kind. So getting off alcohol can be very dangerous for some people if they become dependent alcoholics. And it's always important to consult with your doctor or health professional before doing something like going cold turkey from alcohol. If you've been drinking regularly for a really long time, definitely consult with your doctor or health professional, or seek help if you need it, because this advice is coming from someone who is not a doctor. With that being said, let's get into some of the things that I want to talk about today when it comes to alcohol and its effects on your brain, your body, and your life. Now, like I said at the intro to this talk, I'm a whiskey guy. I love whiskey. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I love tasting whiskey. I love bourbon. I love scotch. And apparently I love it too much. So my personal quest is a quest for moderation. I have a vision of having a fancy bar with bottles of whiskey that are completely sealed that I never touch unless it's a very, very important and specific occasion to do that, like a conversation with a close friend and things like that. This is definitely something that I don't want to do every day. And I've learned some of the health consequences of drinking it all the time on the brain, the body, and overall quality of life. And that's what we're going to be talking about. But I just wanted to say that this is coming from someone who's not preaching to you like, I'm a perfect person, I don't drink alcohol, you shouldn't either, that sort of thing. These are just things that I learned, and I want to help other people to realize the health consequences and other consequences that it can have on our lives, so that we can either find moderation or give this stuff up completely, which I recommend giving it up completely, and you're going to learn why in just a minute. Going into 2024, my quest is to not drink for an entire year. I'm not going to drink alcohol, and maybe after that year I won't even want to. That's what I'm hoping. But like I said, I enjoy drinking whiskey from time to time. One thing that I've noticed is that it's started to take a toll on my own health. I'm 35 now. I turned 35 on December 28th, and I'm just not a young guy anymore. I can't just pound drinks all day long and be totally okay, or at least feel totally okay. You know, it's starting to catch up with me. So that's the inspiration for this video and this podcast episode, is to inspire you the way that I've been inspired to give up alcohol and to not let it destroy my body, my mind, my brain, and my overall quality of life. So we're in this together. And let's get into some of the health consequences that come from drinking alcohol, even semi-regularly. And I want to be around for my wife. I want to be around for my children. I want to watch my children grow up and have children of their own, and I want to meet them too. That's very, very important to me. And it's way more important to me than having whiskey whenever I feel like it. And the truth is, if I don't stop drinking alcohol all the time, I could die younger than I expect to, and you could too. And that's my concern. Other than saying things that we don't mean, getting into arguments, doing stupid shit, saying stupid shit, waking up the next morning feeling ashamed, and all that sort of stuff, there are actually some very scary health consequences that come from alcohol consumption. For example, did you know that alcohol messes with your brain's communication pathways between your brain and your body, and can even change the structure of your brain, how it looks and how it works? Now, I don't know about you, but my brain is very, very important to me, especially as a creative person. I don't want to damage my brain at all. And alcohol can cause brain damage that can become irreparable over time. And that's because alcohol causes direct brain damage, and it affects every cell in your body. It goes into every cell in your body when you consume it. It's a literal poison. And when you consume it, your body will try to rid itself of that poison, and some of that poison gets stuck in your body and changes the literal makeup of your brain and your body. And I don't say that in any sort of a lighthearted, flippant way. Like, this stuff damages your brain directly, and these effects that it has on your brain can become permanent over time. And to me, that's very scary. Alcohol is also directly linked to head and neck cancer. cancer, which is something that I didn't realize before, because I think, like, of course it would have effects on my liver and my kidneys and my gut and stuff like that. That stuff is kind of just common knowledge, but it actually goes into your head, into your brain, and it can give you head and neck cancer. It's directly linked to that. You can look up the research yourself. Pretty damn scary to me. And that's because, like I said, alcohol goes into your cells in your entire body and can alter them in really scary ways. Another risk factor when it comes to mutations like cancer is that it can give you esophagus cancer or gut cancer, like I mentioned just a second ago, because you're drinking it down your esophagus, it's going into your gut, moving through all those places and affecting the cells in those areas and those soft tissues. Like, think about the inside of your body, how soft it is. But this literal poison is moving through those soft tissues, and if you're doing that all the time, it's damaging, and really scary stuff comes from this, like esophagus cancer or cancers of the gut. And as far as the effects on the brain, when you drink alcohol, you can feel that it's affecting your brain, right? Like, you feel wonky, you feel off. Some people feel elevated and more aware and smarter even. That's the kind of guy that I am. When I have a couple of whiskeys, suddenly I'm talking like the smartest guy in the room. But it does directly affect the brain, and what I'm saying is you can feel that. And that wonky feeling that you get is the brain damage happening while it's happening, and those things can become permanent over time. And to me, that's really scary. And like I said, these changes in the brain, this brain damage can be permanent over time because it changes the literal structure of your brain. Like, there have been scans that have been done on regular people, obviously, and then people who are heavy alcohol abusers, and their brain looks totally different. There's even been scans done before and after heavy alcohol consumption where the brain just looks totally different on like a CT scan or an MRI and stuff like that. Like, to say that it literally changes the structure and makeup of your brain and even your brain chemistry can't be taken lightly. That's scary stuff, guys. One thing that it does also that can't be denied if you're an alcohol drinker or even a moderate alcohol drinker is that you could be having a good time. Like, you have a few drinks and you're having a good time, and then suddenly something pisses you off and it's like a switch flips, and then suddenly you're in this rage that you can't stop, and you're kind of watching it happen, and you get into arguments, you get into fights, you say things that you don't mean. You know, they call it liquid courage, so you're more courageous. You're just gonna say whatever you think. You're just the badass guy at the moment. You know, it takes away all inhibition and all holding back and our reservedness, because like I said, suddenly we're the badass guy in the room and we're just going to say whatever we think and whatever we feel, and we also think we're the smartest guy in the room, and then we wake up the next day realizing that we might have wrecked our whole lives. And there's a switch that flips, like I was saying, where you're having a good time and then suddenly you're not having a good time anymore, and you have the ability to destroy the relationships in your life and destroy friendships and stuff like that. You might have even experienced that before, and it messes with the chemicals in your brain also. So while you're really up and you're drinking, you feel great. You feel like you're having a good time, and then the next morning you wake up and you feel ashamed and you feel down, and that's because while you were sleeping, the chemical composition of your brain was just going haywire and figuring out what to do, and now you're not drunk anymore and you realize that that wasn't real. Who was that guy? That I don't even know that guy, because the waking everyday me is this really nice guy, and I was a total last night. So definitely don't want that in your life. And like I said, it can destroy your relationships, it can destroy your friendships, and it can basically destroy your whole life. And that to me is scary on a whole nother level. Like, if the health consequences aren't scary enough for you, imagine ruining your whole life just because you wanted to have a few drinks and feel a little wonky for a little while. It's just not worth it, dude. The next thing that I want to talk about here when it comes to the health consequences of alcohol is your heart. Alcohol damages your heart as well, and the main reason for this is that when you drink it, like I said, it's a poison, and while your body is trying to rid itself of this poison as fast as it possibly can, your heart has to pump super fast and super hard. It has to work overtime in order to do that, to pump that stuff out of your body. It pumps blood to every part of the body that it possibly can as rapidly as it can to save your life, because if it didn't, and if your body didn't have its filtration system, and if your heart wasn't trying to literally save you, you would die after you drank it. But it can also cause cardiovascular damage and increase risk of heart attack, stroke, and can cause high blood pressure and all sorts of problems with the cardiovascular system. It's kind of like if one doesn't get you, another one will. Like, if your brain is totally fine, you got a super strong brain, maybe your heart isn't super strong, you know? And maybe your heart's super strong and you're just blessed to have that, but then your brain gets damaged. Just like there's no way out of it. It's pretty scary, guys. And as is common knowledge, alcohol damages the liver, your body's filtration system, and also the kidneys, but mainly the liver. And without your liver, you can't can't live. Once your liver is damaged and irreparable, once it's gotten to a certain point, there's a very low chance that you will survive that. Unless somehow you get a liver from another dude and it's put into your body surgically, but who wants to go through that, dude? Like, it's not worth it just to have what you think is a good time, wake up the next morning feeling like it over and over and over again, destroying your brain, destroying your heart, destroying your liver. It's not worth it. And like I said before, if one doesn't get you, another one will. Brain, heart, liver. One thing that I learned just recently is that alcohol consumption in large amounts can cause what's called alcohol-induced pneumonia. And that's because, once again, your heart is flooding your body with fluid trying to save your life, blood, and your body rushes blood and fluid to your lungs to try to save your life. And eventually this fluid begins to leak into your literal lungs and begins to fill your lungs up with fluid, which is what they call pneumonia. It's alcohol-induced pneumonia, and I don't know if you know this, but pneumonia can kill you. Lots of people die from pneumonia every year. Many things can cause it, and alcohol is one of them. And from my understanding, alcohol-induced pneumonia is from heavy alcohol consumption over time, but everybody's body is different. You understand what I'm saying? So it could be that what's very heavy to someone else might be a very little bit to another person. So alcohol-induced pneumonia can be caused, I would guess, from moderate alcohol consumption to very heavy alcohol consumption based on the person who's consuming the alcohol. But I had pneumonia a little over a year ago, and I had to go to the emergency room, and it was really scary, guys. It's no joke. Something that you definitely don't want in your life, especially not just for something like alcohol. That's destroying every other aspect of your life and your body. Not worth it. So if you get this alcohol-induced pneumonia and it's not treated, it has the potential to end your life as well. Now I want to talk about another very scary thing when it comes to alcohol consumption, and that is withdrawal symptoms if you become a dependent alcoholic. Now, if you think you're a dependent alcoholic and you plan to get off alcohol, if you're inspired by this video even, it's very, very important to use extreme caution. Many people become dependent on alcohol consumption in their day-to-day lives, and this increases the risk of getting off it without medical supervision. Now, a telltale sign of alcohol dependence, one way to know if you might be one of those alcohol dependent people if you drink every day of your life, most of the day or most of the night, is tremors, mainly in the hands, feeling shaky until you have another drink. When you're sober, you feel like you're just kind of shaking like this. That's a telltale sign that you are a dependent alcoholic and probably need medical supervision to get off of it. Like I said before, everybody's body is different, and you should definitely listen to the signs that your body gives you and seek help and medical attention if you think that's necessary. Definitely seek help if you think that you can't stop drinking alcohol. Like, if it's in your brain that, like, if I stop doing this, whatever it is, then you need help, bro. You need to go and talk to a professional. Now, here are a couple of things that can happen to dependent alcoholics when they suddenly stop drinking that you might not even know about and are pretty scary if you ask me. Did you know that dependent alcoholics can have seizures when they stop drinking alcohol? Like, if you get to the point of dependence where you drink every day, all day, or most of the day, and you can't get off it, if you suddenly stop and go cold turkey, you can have seizures, like sudden seizures, and that's because of those effects on the brain that I was talking about before, and your body thinking that it can't live without that stuff suddenly. It can't live without that poison. Did you know that in some cases it can cause delirium and even psychosis? I don't need to say much more about that, but I definitely don't want to have delirium and psychosis just because I stopped doing a dumb thing that I don't want to do all the time anyways. Sounds pretty stupid to me. Like, do I really want to lose my literal mind because I wanted to have alcohol in my life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not worth it. Which is just another reason not to let it get that far and to stop right now and not allow this stuff in your life anymore. And we'll continue with more right after this quick ad break. Thank you guys. Stick around. Want to level up your life as a man and unlock your masculinity? My book, Warrior King, Unlocking Masculinity, Manliness, and the Warrior Spirit Within, is a 7-level course to embracing the primal wild self and awakening the Warrior King within, covering everything from what it means to be a man, embracing masculinity, love and relationships, being a protector and provider, pursuing your purpose and success, and a whole lot more. I spent a year living in a school bus conversion in the wilderness while I wrote this book, and I believe that it is a journey of self-discovery that will change your life forever. Everything that I learned on my own journey to unlocking what it means to be a man and leveling up my life is in there. The 7 levels are the primal, the listener, the wise man, the lover, the protector, the warrior, and the king. You can can find a link for Warrior King the book in the description of this podcast episode or video. Grab a copy to take the first step on your transformational journey today. Again, that's Warrior King by Michael Riggs. All right, guys, welcome back. If that's something you're interested in, definitely check it out. Now, this stuff, alcohol, is destroying every aspect of our lives. It can't be denied. It's destroying our relationships. It's making us say and do things we otherwise wouldn't do. And it's not only poisoning our bodies, but it's poisoning our spirits and holding us back from reaching our full potential in this life. If the health risks aren't scary enough for you for some dumb reason, do it for your family. Do it for your closest relationships. The ones that really matter, not just the ones that you go and you drink alcohol with. Those aren't your closest relationships. I'm talking about your closest, meaningful relationships. Do it for your future self, that ideal self, leveled up, super awesome, super successful you. Do it for him. Do it for your success in reaching your full potential. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like my success is hindered every time that I drink alcohol. It's like I'm taking some time off or something. Even if I plan to have a few drinks and get to work, I don't get to work. It's just how it works. And imagine all of that time being taken pursuing success and pursuing your purpose and spending time with the people you love, spending time on real, actual, super awesome experiences. Like, quitting alcohol can literally have the potential to give you back your life and give you back so much time. Have you ever drank heavily before and you don't remember the night before? Is that a waste of life? Absolutely. Why would we not want to remember our life? Now, one thing I want to talk about here is when you quit alcohol, if you're a regular drinker or even a semi-regular drinker, is that you need to be mindful of the changes in your brain that will occur and the changes in your mood. The reason that you want to be aware of that is so that you can catch those things and shift them and change them and be like, this is only because I'm not drinking alcohol, and to do things that make us feel good and to do things that bring us joy instead. Because what happens when you drink alcohol is that it messes with the chemistry of your brain and boosts things like dopamine when you're doing it. And that's why when, let's say, every day you drink at 5 o'clock, and let's call that fun o'clock, right? So your brain and your body gets used to that fun o'clock. And when fun o'clock doesn't come at 5 o'clock, your brain and your body might be a little bit confused about that at first. And it's going to take some time to adjust and start producing those happy chemicals on its own again. And it will start producing them on its own again. Let me stress that. But it might take some time. So you might feel some mood swings, some unexpected downness, or like I said, everyone's different. You might just feel really good and really up. But I just want you to be aware that there could be some mood changes and to be mindful of that when you quit drinking alcohol so that you can adjust accordingly and know that those feelings could just be results of the chemistry of your brain and that sort of stuff. And when you're feeling maybe down in the dumps or feeling like maybe I should just go get a little single or something to take the edge off and keep me going, just remember the benefits that are going to come from you not drinking alcohol anymore and the end game, right? Where are we going with this? What's the end result? I'm not going to feel like this forever. I feel right now, but as soon as I'm back to my real, authentic, regular self, I'm going to feel so much better. My body's going to be healthier. My brain's going to be healthier. My mind is going to be healthier. My mental health is going to be healthier. Every aspect of my life, my relationships, my friendships, everything is going to be better. Now, let me address really quick, since I said friendships, some friendships are based on alcohol consumption. And if you can't hang out with your friends without drinking alcohol, or if they even shame you for not drinking alcohol, or be like, just have one, we're having a good time. I don't know, man, get some new friends, because you're trying to level up your life. You know what I'm saying? Spend more time with your family, or go out and make some new friends. Spend time with people who have a success mindset and are pursuing better things in their life. And I know it might be hard to find them at first, but you will find them. But true friendships, real relationships will be improved by not consuming alcohol so regularly anymore. So my challenge is 365 days, no alcohol. That's what I'm doing myself. I started December 28th on my birthday. I drank some whiskey and I decided not to drink any more whiskey after that for at least 1 year. Now, when I get to the end of that year, I might not ever want to drink again. We're going to see what happens. Or I might have a drink on my birthday and then go for another year. I don't know. We'll see. But 365 days is the challenge that I have for you. Take 1 year off from drinking alcohol and just see what happens, man. See if every aspect of your life improves. See if every aspect of your health improves. And I don't know, man. If that sounds too challenging for you, start smaller. Do 6 months. Make that your goal. Make 3 months your goal. Whatever's comfortable for you, because it is a personal journey. You're not going to do it for me. You're not going to do it because Michael Riggs on the Warrior King podcast said so. You're going to do it because you said so. You're going to do it because it's your decision to make. You understand what I'm saying? And compromise if you need to and say, I'm only going to drink on my birthday for 1 year and maybe New Year's. Set those days. Like, that's when I'm allowed to. But just remember that when you compromise on your goals and your dreams, the more that you compromise, you're giving up your own willpower. So committing to absolutely none would have way more power. I'm just saying, do what's comfortable for you and know that this stuff is destroying your brain. It's destroying your body. It's destroying your relationships, and it has the potential to either destroy your whole life or end your whole life. And I definitely don't want that for you. And like I said, if you set those dates that you're allowed to drink alcohol and you're going months and months without drinking it, but you have a drink on your birthday or on New Year's or whatever holiday you pick as the day that you're allowed to, you might get to that birthday or that holiday and realize, I don't even want to drink anymore. Like, I don't even want to do this. So that's what I hope if you're one of the people that decides to go that route. Well, one thing that I can tell you for sure that I've realized in my own life is that this cannot be an all the time thing. It can't be a weekly thing. It definitely can't be a daily thing. I mean, the consequences of this stuff are not worth it, guys. Like I said, I have realized that in my own life. I'm right here with you. If you're learning this stuff for the first time, I just learned it recently and it scared the shit out of me, and I don't want that in my life anymore. I want to be around for my kids. I want to be around for my wife. I want to have a long, healthy, prosperous life, and the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is if I give this stuff up. And I also want to say that it's dangerous in way more ways than can be listed in one video or podcast episode. Like, the list of health consequences and life consequences that can come from just drinking alcohol, I mean, it goes on and on. You can get on Google right now yourself and do your own research. I just listed the ones that were scariest to me, hoping that I could communicate that to you in the way that it was communicated to me. But the list of consequences goes on and on, guys, and it's definitely absolutely not worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Keep up with me through the year. Connect with me. Let me know how it's going. If you decide to get off alcohol, get rid of it from your life completely, or at least quest for moderation of alcohol consumption in your life, let me know how it's going. Let me know how it's leveled up your life. I would love to hear that I inspired you. That's my mission, is to inspire as many men all over the world as possible with these powerful, uplifting messages to level up every aspect of their lives. So the more that you engage with the content and engage with me, that's how we can make that possible, reaching men all over the world. I can't wait to see where this year goes. I have big goals for this podcast and this YouTube channel, and I'm so grateful to have you guys here. If this episode inspired you, definitely subscribe and stick around for my future content. I have lots on the way. Go back and watch or listen to past episodes of this podcast to level up every aspect of your life and inspire you to be a totally awesome, badass dude. If this episode especially inspired you, there's some links down in the description of this episode that will lead you to some pages where you can give to support this podcast and help us keep doing it. There's also one on there called Buy Me a Coffee where you can donate to buy me coffees, which is pretty cool. But honestly, that's just another way to fund this podcast and help me keep doing it and help it grow. And I appreciate everyone who's giving on those platforms. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you guys here and supporting this. We're building a strong community of like-minded people. So yeah, like I said, stick around. It's going to be super awesome. I hope that this episode inspired you. I really, really do. And I definitely hope that it inspired you to be a healthier person and to launch this new year with a whole new mindset, an alcohol-free mindset. After that, it's only up from here. Again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.